I played SkullGirls for like an hour and a half. Mike Z sat down with me and showed me everything about the game, and the game looks amazing.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
I thought that the game was going to be terrible. Like
Same.
from the pictures and videos, I was like, oh, I'm not going to play this. But when I sat down and played it, it was amazing. It's like my favorite game, probably. It's going to be my favorite game.
Oh, that's awesome, man, because we ask everyone that, and they're all just like, I don't know.
No, the game is amazing. Like, Mike Z's doing an amazing job on it.
Yeah. There's just something about that game that absolutely prevents you from convincing anyone that it's good until you get them to actually play it.
Yeah. It's so good. There's so many things
It is.
that are, like, perfect. Ah, that game is just too good.
It's like it's made for us, fighting game fans.
I think last time I told us... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Nah, it's made for, like, real, like, the hardcore competitive players, not, like, the casual. The casual people probably won't like it.
Well, when I was playing SkullGirls at Revelations, I found a combo with Philia that triggered the infinite loop detection, even though it wasn't a loop. I hadn't looped anything. And I asked Mike, I was like, why is this happening? And he explained it to me, and then he showed it to me, and then the next day he called me over and he said I fixed it. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So I had also complained at Revelations about the darker blue stage, how it colors all the characters blue, and it's kind of rough on colorblind people. And he was like, wow, we never thought about that. And then at EVO he called me over and he was like, we fixed the blue stage, what do you think? I was like, this looks great. So it's like he totally cares about what everybody says, and when he's sitting there showing you the game, he's really trying to figure out, what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, yeah. And he has, like, a Guilty Gear background, so he knows how to, like, look at things from a non-Capcom perspective, which is important, I think.
Yeah, somebody was like, whoa, Mike Z's making a fighting game? What's it gonna have, like, 8 Potemkins?
Yeah. The grappler character in that game is really cool, though.
Yeah. There's so many good ideas in that game. I'm glad that you're gonna play it because it's gonna have GGPO, and that means we'll probably be able to play some games online.
We can start a 3-person lobby. Call it WSRK.
Ooh. I like that. What about 3D games, Flash? I haven't seen you really play too much, but there's Tekken Tag 2 very far off on the horizon and Virtua Fighter as well.
That's probably not gonna happen. I would love to play those games, but if I don't have a scene in Florida for it, there's pretty much no chance I'm gonna play it. I wanted to play Arcana Heart and Melty Blood. Don't kill me. But, yeah.
Hey man, I like those games.
I wanted to play those games, but nobody played them here, so I never got the chance to.
Yeah, it can be really difficult with local scene not cooperating, but again, GGPO should hopefully solve anyone's problem with that. And that would be a huge problem for a game like SkullGirls, like a massive scene-killing problem if it didn't have good netcode. But because of the GGPO promise, I think the game might have a good life in front of it.
I've never actually played on a GGPO thing, so I don't really know how good the network is. Everybody keeps saying it's like perfect, close to no lag, but
it's as close as you're gonna get. Yeah.
I'm waiting for that because I would love to see that. I don't believe it until I play on it myself.
Well, like the way it's explained to me, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but you know how when you press a button, it sends the signal, and once both players of the server have the signal, it starts animating the move.
Yeah.
So that adds additional delay to when the move comes out after you press the button. GGPO manipulates some things so that, like, let's say a move has 8 frames of startup. If you press the button and there's 4 frames of delay, it skips 4 frames of the move's startup. Basically, manipulates the emulation or the game to come out closer to when they were supposed to come out.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you see rollbacks when there's problems.
But wouldn't that skip frames in the actual game?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like offline, cause it actually skips animation and things will move around when there's problems. It'll roll back and fix the problem. So there may be some networking problem where you see your fireball hit, but it didn't actually, the guy jumped over, so it'll roll back to what is actually happening. And you'll be like, but I hit him, even though you didn't actually. It was just a networking problem. And that freaks people out, but it is a lot more accurate than the alternative.
That's kind of weird.
It works really well. You know, we call it rollback, but that's kind of a misnomer. What it really should be is kind of like a roll forward. Like, imagine you have two separate copies of the game. Instead of the game being resolved in the middle and there being input delay there, your game is basically running at as high fidelity as it could be. So when you do something, it happens. Now, what you see on the screen may not completely match what is supposed to happen, but you know that you did that Dragon Punch, and then it didn't come out. So when you play a game with GGPO, if you know that the Dragon Punch didn't come out, you might not see it for a frame or two, but then it'll come out. So for players that are hardcore, like you said, it actually works because, you know what you're doing, and you expect the screen to match what you're doing, and that's the problem that we have with input delay. So the screen will eventually correct itself. That's really what it is.
Right. And you can react to things. Like, you can't, in the traditional netcode, you can't react online. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
But with GGPO, you can make, like, deep Shoryuken against jump-in reactions.
I hate playing on Xbox Live because I can't play Zangief at all. I can't EX Green Hand through fireballs. That's impossible online. You can't walk and block online.
Right.
It's the worst.
Yeah, like super fast moving forward attacks like Cody's EX slide kick thing and Honda headbutts.
Yeah.
Those are like unblockable online.
Yeah. I hate Xbox Live with a passion.
Well, you might like it once you see GGPO. You're going to figure out that it's actually not that bad, and a lot of that is what's going on in the underworkings of the game. I'm hoping for the best for SkullGirls.